Horror movie and staged events production at Moor Studios. Gaumont British Animation, Part 23, L. Ron Hubbard. Contact information over here. Fair use. Okay, this is the tie-in to Moor Studios. This is a picture from Moor Studios. The link is on the previous page, and I've shown this before. You have Boris Karloff over here. This is Jack Parsons, who's Ted Percival. We're going to talk about him. And over here, the director of Dracula, Todd Browning. This is John Dillinger. This is the guy who shot John Dillinger, Dwight Fry. This is Clyde Barrow from the Barrow Gang. And here's Douglas Fairbanks Jr. All right, so Ted Percival over here, the guy sandwiched between Todd Browning and Boris Karloff is very likely Jack Parsons. Jack Parsons was friend with L. Ron Hubbard and did black magic and followed Aleister Crowley. All right, so there's your L. Ron Hubbard tie-in. Oh, here's L. Ron Hubbard, and this is Parsons and Crowley, all these black magic people. You can get the link over here. This is L. Ron Hubbard, the creator of Scientology. He wrote books. Interestingly enough, I believe he directed movies, which I found out today. And here's the e-meter that he created, that he uses in doing treatment in Scientology. And by definition, here are pictures of L. Ron Hubbard. Here he is again without the jokes. This is L. Ron Hubbard. By definition, this is him. Now, they look quite different. It is the same person by definition. So I looked at this picture very carefully, and I studied it. I went looking to see if I could figure out who L. Ron Hubbard is, because obviously in this world, nobody is who they say they are, especially in the media like this. So I studied him for a while until I figured out who I thought he was. If you're a fan of a 60s TV hit series, you may know the person who I believe he is. Brace for impact. Grandpa Al Lewis, Grandpa Munster from the Munsters. All right, do not leave the video. Stay with me. I'm about to prove this. So the Munsters is a TV show from the 60s, and Fred Gwynne played Herman Munster. This is Yvonne DiCarlo, Lily, Butch Patrick, who's Eddie Munster, Marilyn Munster. I don't give her name. There's two women who played Marilyn Munster, and Al Lewis, Grandpa Munster. All right, so which one of them looks like? Obviously, I showed you Al Lewis is going to turn out to be L. Ron Hubbard. And there's some resemblance here, but nobody's going to say this is the same person based on this resemblance. But we have a key player here, Butch Patrick, who is Eddie Munster. Pay attention to this kid. He is very important. So here's a picture of L. Ron Hubbard, Mary Sue, and supposedly L. Ron's three children. Well, they are or not, I can't tell you. However, remember earlier I said that Butch Patrick, Eddie Munster was key. Well, we went to see if we recognize anybody in the picture. This kid looks pretty familiar to me. And there he is, Eddie Munster, Butch Patrick. So here's the point. This is virtually confirmatory that L. Ron Hubbard is Grandpa Al Lewis. So I don't look at 2 million pictures here. I perceive in an earlier photo that I believe that Grandpa Al Lewis looks surprisingly like L. Ron Hubbard. Vice versa. L. Ron Hubbard looks surprisingly like Grandpa Al Lewis. And I dig up a picture of L. Ron Hubbard, and sitting here is a kid who looks identical to Eddie Munster. Here he is. I pulled up a couple more images. So, and here's the original photograph that I took this from. And this kid's a dead ringer. So I didn't go through 2 billion images. I went through one with L. Ron, saw if I could recognize anybody. I had some thoughts that maybe this is Yvonne DiCarlo, but I can't prove it. So I left it out of the video, but I'll bring it up. Here are the ears. And I'm not an expert with ears, but these are really very, very close. And you can examine them yourself, but I would say these things are looking virtually identical. And if anybody wants to get an ear expert to compare them and use biometrics, by all means. Here's another set of ears. By the way, this again is Grandpa Al Lewis, and this is from a TV show called Car 54, and it looks like they're adding a little prosthetic to the nose here to distinguish him from L. Ron Hubbard. So the prosthetic probably starts over here and comes all the way down, and otherwise everybody would recognize him as L. Ron Hubbard. Now, L. Ron Hubbard, by definition, Grandpa Al Lewis, by definition, pause, take a look at the picture, see if you notice anything, and here's what it is. It's a cowboy hat, black cowboy hat, being worn by L. Ron Hubbard, identical hat being worn by Grandpa Al Lewis. Now, next thing, although, look, he pushes the hat back for comic relief here. L. Ron Hubbard, nice white sideburns here, exact same sideburns, except what does Al Lewis do? Pushes them up again for comic relief here. You have to understand that these people who do this are extremely talented. So he's a director, he's a writer. I mean, I doubt he's a nuclear physicist, but he's involved in the entertainment industry, and here he makes a movie about the Munsters, and his friends were all doing monster movies, you saw from that first slide, and they're using the same wardrobe. He goes back to his wardrobe and pulls out this hat, and he pulls out whatever. They're using the same wardrobe. It's the same man using the same wardrobe. Nobody counted on the internet. Give us the power to compare these pictures. Here, Al Lewis, they've all gotten older here, and here's L. Ron Hubbard, and he pulls out the beret from his closet. It must have been beret day for the two of them. Here's L. Ron Hubbard, Grandpa Al Lewis. You can see the similar coloring here. Again, they must be adding a little prosthetic nose here. They might be adding a little something over here. I can't tell you. I mean, it looks like there's a separation here. In the previous photo, we saw a little separation here. This is from Lost in Space. That's Dr. Smith. It was a great show. Interestingly enough, he's got a little bit of a patch here that seemed to be balding. And over here, here's the same patch. You have ears here. It's harder to tell because the pinna gets longer. There's some other changes here. Somebody could analyze them. Little issue, if you want to say that because Eddie Munster's in the picture with L. Ron Hubbard, then that's his son, and he'd be Grandpa Munster's son. He is supposedly the son of a guy named Ken Hunt, who is a baseball player, played, looks like, for Los Angeles and for the Senators. This is an interesting picture, and I put it in here. I never thought I'd figure out who some of these... Well, they give you L. Ron Hubbard. This is his portly son named Nibs, N-I-B-S. But let's play Who's This? All right, anybody recognize her? Take a couple minutes and push the button on the pause. And let's play Who's This? Let's make her bigger. So she's bigger. Anybody recognize her? Any guesses? Boom, Betty Page. Can I be 100% sure it's Betty Page? No, but that's a spitting image of her. I'll put a few pictures up. If you take a look at this eye, they both have the same strabismus. It's not uncommon in actors to see these, and people have a little bit of strabismus. But this woman's a dead ringer. He's an actor. He plays Grandpa Al Lewis. And these are staged photos. And here, this is hand-drawn, but the resemblance becomes uncanny, even the little bits of hair here. And I wouldn't hesitate to say that this is the same woman. I wish I had another picture. This is a staged photograph under a portrait of a benign L. Ron Hubbard, an officer of the Sea Org, hands out certificates at Gilman Hot Springs in 1981. The founder of Scientology had already gone to the ground. I don't know what it means, gone to the ground, because he didn't die till 1986. Staged photo. How do I know it's staged? They have applied the heaviest sort of appliances on this woman's face. She looks like the Elephant Woman. She has appliances on her as well, probably on this one. This might be His daughter Diana, I can't tell you with these prosthetics in place. I'd have to study her very carefully, but appears to be staged. Why else are they putting on all that makeup? So L. Ron Hubbard and Grandpa Al Lewis, same man. L. Ron Hubbard supposedly dies in '86. Grandpa Al Lewis not till 2006. And here's the picture that made me take a look and decide that, yeah, Grandpa Al Lewis could be L. Ron Hubbard. Same schnozola, same look, same face. And I think I've given you enough evidence. Okay, thanks for watching. Take care, everybody.